Uno, and then you can have a listen as well how you sound. But yeah, I have you on 2.8 kilohertz in bandwidth right now because the AI that is doing the white noise elimination is only working at 2.9 kilohertz. I hope that maybe in the future they will also give the possibility to open the bandwidth a little bit and go to 3.4 or maybe 4 kilohertz, so we can also work a little bit with the SSB. Okay, I'll pass microphone one more time to you, and then I'm gonna see who's still around because I had a Canadian station calling my name, so I just want to get back to him as well. Kilo Charlie 3 Echo Juliet Sierra Oscar November 7 Oscar Foxtrot Foxtrot, over. Kilo Charlie 3 Echo Juliet Sierra from Oscar November 7 Oscar Fox Fox. Just refresh the page now. I just updated the new live stream, so you can get straight to the live stream. Refresh the page, and you have the new link in the live stream. 73 de Uno. I really appreciate. I would say tack, and that's what you say in Sweden, I think. And you have a fantastic day. Kilo Charlie 3 Echo Juliet Sierra from ON7 OFF. 73's, mate. 73s. Who was that Canadian station? Make your call. Okay, nothing heard. Canadian station, make your call. Canada, go ahead. Kilo Bravo 1 Sierra Oscar. Yep, no copy from the Canadian station. Nice to meet you. KB 1SA Kenneth. This is Kurt, KURT, Kilo Uniform Romeo Tango, personal name. And you're 5x9 plus very strong signal, Kenneth. Go ahead, over. Okay. Yeah, QSL, KB1SO, ON7OFF. You have one as well, or you just ordered it, or what's going on? I was wondering if you're using it right now, Raymond, over. Yeah, QSL. Well, I tell you straight away, I've spoken to a couple of guys that are also using other software-controlled radios, and they seem to be anonymously, how could I say, they have an agreement anonymously that the Teti software is really remarkable as far as the noise reduction is concerned. But hey, I just made and uploaded a new video on my YouTube channel talking about the AI noise reduction. So I am currently receiving you through the Teti software, which is the one that we use together with the Hermes Lite. But the audio is being sent to a server in Texas, and the received signal is sent back to my computer, and I virtually eliminate all white noise on single sideband with that filter. I hope in the future the SDR software programmers are going to consider maybe adding this as a extra noise reduction feature in their software, because it is really absolutely amazing. The only thing that is a little bit sad that is only for 2.8 to 2.9 kilohertz. So I hope that in the future they will Randy will work on it and make it available also for bigger bandwidths. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Back to their Raymond, Kilo Bravo 1, Sierra Oscar from Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox, over. Yeah, okay. I just saw that my live stream was not feeding the audio from the receive, so I just engaged the audio receive there. Raymond, back to you.
Okay, very fine. You copy me okay now?
Yeah, it's just for the live stream itself that I was not sending the receive signal to the live stream. I disabled it when I was recording the other video. So yeah, now it should be okay. It's just for the live stream, the people who are listening to it, over.
Okay, very fine. Yeah, it's pretty quiet here in the States. Earlier in the day, the band was very quiet, but it's been opening up in the evenings. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty quiet day. Okay, I'm not going to keep it with you, but it's been a pleasure to meet you, Kurt. You have an outstanding signal. The audio sounds fantastic. And hope to work to you again someday down the road. With that, I'm going to say good evenings. ON 7 Oscar Foxtrot from Kilo Bravo 1 Sierra Oscar.
Pleased to meet you, and hopefully we can talk to you soon again there, Raymond. I just hope that we can have another conversation and cross aerials. I really enjoy to talk into the United States. I normally have my antenna either to the States or to Pacific Ocean and talk with the guys there in Australia. Because sometimes other language countries, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to communicate and have a little bit of an extended conversation. 73's Raymond, take care, and pleased to meet you for the first time. Kilo Bravo 1 Sierra Oscar, this is Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox. Good bless and stay safe, over.
Okay, thank you, Kurt. And that time around, you were actually peaking 20 over, so outstanding. Antenna system and the radio is doing a great job. Bye-bye from KB1SO.
KB1SO and 7 OFF clear 73s. Any other station, QRZ.
November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo.
November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo, Mr. Glenn. Nice to meet you. This is Kurt, KURT. The QTH is Brussels. I'm just about 15 miles southeast of the capital, right in the Greenville area. And get you 5 and 9 report without a problem. Go ahead, sir.
Very good, Kurt. Well, I'm very pleased to hear this afternoon. Name here is Glenn Golf Lima Echo November. And I'm located in the state of Maryland. The city is Silver Spring, Maryland, which is just north of Washington, D.C., about 10 miles due north of the nation's capital. Some very nice signal. You're doing very well. I didn't look at the FD, but I'll give you a report on what broke. So thank you, and help us out to holding us. Come in, please do it.
Yeah, QSL Glenn. Thank you. Yeah, I get you 5 and 7. Okay, I need to correct your signal report. 57 is your report at the moment here, but I can understand you completely because the artificial intelligence system here, the noise reduction system, is pulling your signal up, so I have a readable audio from your station there, Glenn. Yeah, it's been a lovely day here. We start to have some summer. We had an awful summer. It has been raining a lot over the past few months, I would say. And apparently when the children have to go back to school here in general, July and August are both months where school kids are off. They had the most terrible summer for almost a decade. And of course, when school opens up, then the weather starts to improve and no rain anymore. Anyway, I'm not involved in this because I'm not going to school HI, but I can enjoy the weather here in the September months as well. I'm talking to you on the Hermes Light Radio, which is a very small 2 packets of cigarettes stacked together sized radio, and running about 700 watts into a 2-element cubicle quad. And I am also doing a live stream, so you can listen how you sound. If you go to my QRZ page, you can start the live stream straight away by clicking on the first picture on the QRZ page, Glenn. Back to you, November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo, Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox, over.
Okay, very good. Did I get your call sign correct? Is it Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot?
It's with a double F at the end. It's like an on-off switch, Glenn. Like an on-off switch. Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot Foxtrot. Like an on-off switch. The way you've seen it a million times on the radio, HI, when you turn it on and off. Go ahead. November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo, ON7 OFF.
Okay, I've got it that time. Very good. Very good. And, very good. Yes. So you're 5.9 plus on this side. Very, very strong signal, doing a great job. I'm running a barefoot here, running an Icom 7600 barefoot 100 watts, going out to an 80 meter Carolina Wyndham at about 50 feet. That's fantastic. We're running a audio technique, studio mic, and one for roll. That's what we're doing. The weather here today is extremely hot. Extremely hot. It's going to be very close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty brutal outside. I was outside a little bit earlier after lunch washing my car. And I didn't mind getting sprayed with the water at all. There you are. Glad to be inside here. We're here earlier this year. We were up in Amsterdam. We went to Bruges and a couple other places. We wound up finishing up our trip in Paris for a couple of days. That's not a here.
Okay, QSL. Yeah, if you've been to Belgium, and Bruges is very nice. I would say it's a very nice place to go, especially as a tourist. It's a little bit like the Venice, but in the north. So I always can promote Bruges as well. I'm actually selling perfumes at the handicraft market in the city center of Brussels, where all the tourists go. So it might be that maybe you have passed right in front of my shop. You can see a picture on my QRZ page how my shop looks like. It's on a handicraft market, so I do see a lot of tourists passing by right in front of me. And it happens sometimes that I get an amateur radio just walking in front. I've got my call sign printed on the front of my booth. So those who are into ham radio and they read 73's DE ON7 OFF, they know what it is all about. So the other people, they don't know. So I already had a couple of encounters of amateur radios just passing right in front of my shop. Back to you, Glenn. November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo, ON7 OFF. And if you listen to the live stream, I'll turn on and off the filtering system, because it's a new system that I just found out recently. It's a amateur, not an amateur, it's a guy who is the son of an amateur radio in Texas, who is actually giving me the access to his server, and I'm sending the audio signal from the receive to the server in Texas. The artificial intelligence is going to eliminate the entire white floor noise that you, or the white sound or white floor noise that you have, or the white noise that you have, and eliminate it completely. So it's kind of interesting. I'm just experimenting with this particular filter. So it seems to do a really tremendous job. Back to you there, Glenn. November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo, Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox, over.
Yeah, very good, very interesting, Kurt. Interesting stuff. Yeah, so I just you too much into the earlier stuff. So the only thing I'm running here is just starting freeing up. But I heard a lot of people asking whether we're eligible for the treatment. My latest phase in the hobby is I got reactivated with amateur satellites. I'm starting to see around which I might see that they put together a little antenna with the NA2 antenna. It's good. More fun. So that's deep in here. I'm glad you're getting some amateur radio operators off your booth there. It's fun. Yeah, it's got a good idea. Put a new sign up there. People pick that up. You know, I run a job there. You won't have a clue what they're talking about. They're really good. So, I won't keep you. I appreciate the chat. It's great to talk to you. I'll trigger the log and get it through logbook of the word. So, we say 73 best you and your family. Well, be great. And hope to hear you all again here soon. Our final day. Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Drive. 3 Charlie Oscar Drive.
Thank you very much, Glenn. Very nice to meet you for the first time. I have you down the log, and I just switched on and off the artificial intelligence, the AI filtering for a second on your last over. So people who are also in the live stream, they can listen how it sounds with and without the filter. And as you are very close to my ground floor noise, it really does a tremendous job eliminating this white noise that you have on a single sideband. 73's Glenn, it's been a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and hopefully we can talk to you soon again. November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo, Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot, over.
Okay, well, good. I'll get on to your work, your check that out. It sounds like. So, thanks again. 73 broadcast. This is November 3, Charlie Oscar Bravo.
73, so you have a good one, and talk to you soon. Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox, we're standby.
November 5, Queen Bravo.
Romeo Hotel November.
November 5 station, go ahead, over.
Yeah, very good, Kurt. My name is Tim Bingo India Mike. My call is November 5, Queen Bravo on Southern Maine, and you're about 5'9" plus 10 or so. Back to you.
Yeah, 5 and 7, 5 and 8 is your report at the moment here on my Hermes Light software. Very good to hear you, Timothy. And yeah, do you have my name correct? It's Kurt, K-U-R-T. Very good propagation into North America tonight. It's been a couple of days very quiet. I was listening on the bands during the night a few times. I turned on the receiver and I didn't hear too much, but apparently the propagation has changed a little bit in a more favorable way, so we can have a little bit of skip conditions coming over from your heck of the woods. Back to you there, Tim, and yeah, very good to hear you. I'm coming to you with a Hermes Light 2 radio, which is a very small open source hardware radio using the Teti software, and a 2-element cubicle quad with about 700 watts on the antenna. And yeah, I'm doing a lot of experimenting. I like to combine old and new technology and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I just am now testing the artificial intelligence AI filtering capabilities. So pretty interesting, pretty neat to eliminate the white noise on single sideband 100% without using additional signal processing system, but just using artificial intelligence. Tim, back to you. November 5, Quebec Bravo, Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot, over.
Yeah, very good, Kurt. Yeah, I'll look at your feed here in a little bit. I've got some things I need to do real quick, and then I'm gonna I've got to meet up with some other guys here in about 30 minutes for a round table we do every night. But I just wanted to say hello, and you got a great signal, and that 2-element quad is working very well for you. And who makes the quad? Do you mind answering that real quick?
It's a commercial one. I'm not sure if the company is still in business, but it's called GB Quads. Sorry, GB Antennas. Golf Bravo Antennas. It's a Dutch company somewhere in Holland. I got it secondhand, so I was able to get this two element. It's a single feed point with 5 bands on the fingertip here, so it's very convenient because you just simply change the band. You don't have to tune anything. You get a good SWR on all the different bands from 20 up to 10, and yeah, that is really a bonus. And I love the quad antennas. You don't need to put it very high, so it eliminates that you need to buy a big rotor. It eliminates that you need to have a high tower, and it eliminates also the fact that you might be struck by lightning because you don't have such a high tower. So I'm living on a premium locations here, to be honest with you. I've got overview to all the different directions because I'm on the top of a hill, and just about a few miles away from here, as the bird flies, it was the former antenna park of the Belgian radio and television service, so they must have chosen this area for a reason. I guess also the soil is pretty good for radio. Back to you there, Tim, and then I'll see who is still around. Yeah, pleased to meet you anyway. November 5, Queen Bravo, Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot, Foxtrot, over.
Okay, Kurt. Yeah, I'll let you go. I'm just curious. I'm in the same situation. I'm not at the top of the hill, but I'm on the side of the hill that all the communication towers around this part of the country are. And of course, I did that on purpose, and I'm sure you did too, because it makes the radioing a little easier to be up high. So you take care of yourself, 7-3s, and I'll be clear, N5QB.
N5QB, ON7OFF, wishing you a very good day to you, or a very good afternoon. ON7OFF, clear. I'm going to call somebody who is leaving his call sign in the chat box here. I've got Kilo Bravo 2, Romeo Hotel November. Can you please give me a shout, see if I can receive you from New Jersey? This is ON7OFF, over.
WA3O after you, Kurt.
Romeo Hotel November. Jim in New Jersey. Do you have a copy, Kurt?
Oh, yes, I do. Good evening, James. How you doing? Yeah, the Kurt name here is Kurt. You have that, and pleased to meet you. Thank you also for being in the live stream and in the chat box. Hope you enjoy it, and yeah, I turn on and off the the white noise filter, the AI white noise filter, just for your convenience, so you can compare. I just uploaded a new video on my YouTube channel. I'm not a professional YouTube channel owner either, so I'm just doing it for fun, but just to show people how they can also use the same AI filter on any radio, because I'm just using an SDR radio, but you can use it with virtually any radio. Jim, back to you. Kilo Bravo 2, Romeo Hotel November from Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox, over.
Okay, real fine, Kurt. I'll tell you what, the Hermes radio sounds real good. The XI9 audio is superb into New Jersey. I'm about 50 miles northwest of Atlantic City, running an ICOM 746, 100 watts into a 80-meter loop. A 40-meter loop, Kurt. I'm watching your live stream now, and I just wanted to let you know that it's doing a great job. It looks real good, and thank you very much for letting me jump in there and saying hello to you, Kurt. And nice to meet you. Back to you, sir.
Yeah, QSL, Jim, no problem. You can call me Kurt. No, sir, needed. But yeah, pleased to meet you. And yeah, I just disabled and enabled the AI filter for a second on your last transmission. So when you review back, because I can understand that when you're talking on the radio, it's too hard to actually listen to your own voice. You get confused. We're only men. We cannot do two things at the same time like ladies do. But yeah, if you rewind back a little bit, you can see what happens when I disable and enable the AI filter. It's not digital signal processing. It is completely AI filtering. So it's something new. I think nobody or very few people are using it right now, because it just Randy William, who is I think his dad is Kilo, what is his dad name again, let me see his call sign. He's not even an amateur radio, but his dad is, so it's Kilo 5 Quebec Echo. It's his son who has actually created the AI filter, and I'm using his services. So I'm sending my signal through the internet to Texas. The server is going to filter out the entire white noise and all the QRM that you have, or you might have some, bleed over from other frequencies, and it just sends back the signal as clear as it can be. It's just absolutely insane. I think we might be at the verge of eliminating white noise forever on single sideband. It's just mind-blowing. Kilo Bravo 2, Romeo Hotel November. This is Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox. Thank you very much, Jim. I really appreciate. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Kurt, for doing what you do, and I'm going to look that up. I'm very interested in that, and I was looking at the Hermes offer. Thank you very much for letting me jump in there. I'm going to let you carry on and keep up the great work, because there's other stations out there that want to give you a call. And I'm glad I'm making it with Hunter Watts here out of New Jersey. So thank you very much, Kurt. 7-3, have a great day. I got your call here. Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot First. We'll do 2RH in New Jersey. 7-3, Kurt. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no need to memorize my call sign, Jim. If you just think logically, you will see that it is exactly the same as an on-off switch. On, 7, off, okay? Just put a little dash on top of the / between on and off, and you get the call sign correct. 73 is Jim. Pleased to meet you. God bless and stay safe.
That's great, Kurt. Thank you very much.
73 is QRZ, Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox Fox here in Brussels. We're standby.
Whiskey America 30, WA 30.
Oh, there you are. How you doing, Michael? Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Last time we worked was on 17 meters. Been a while here on 20 meters. How you doing, Michael? Go ahead.
Yeah, very good, Kurt. I just wanted to say hello to you. I've seen you the spotting up in Thetis, and somebody spotted you, so I figured I'd come say hello. And I wonder, I know you hooked up with John ON80i, and I know you got that front panel. You got the companion board, the front device to make HL2 able to accept the microphone. I wonder if you attempted to remove the surface mount component and put that in yet. I'm using one of those. That's why I'm curious. Over.
Yeah, I did. I have currently the companion board. I'm mainly using the companion board just to listen with my headphone. But in the meantime, as you heard from the previous QSO, I'm actually sending my audio signal or my receive signal to the artificial intelligence server and eliminating completely. It works even better than the NR2. I just uploaded a video on my QRZ page, just explaining people and comparing it to NR2 on Thetis. So I'm not really using the companion board, but I'm going to use it when I'm going to be traveling with it and go to Thailand, because it's going to be easier without using the VAC. I tried to put a microphone into the jack, but it seems that I need to reconfigure everything because it didn't sound right. But maybe it has to do with my microphone here. I'm using a Behringer C3 microphone, which normally is supposed to have also phantom power. So I need to test some other audio or some other microphone. I'll probably do some purchase of a microphone that I can hook up to the Hermes Lite, to the companion board. And yes, I did remove the SMD, the component, because it's required. It's something that you need to do. But it's installed, it's there, but I'm not using its functionalities at the moment. And I'm not a CW guy, but basically it's for later purposes when I'm going to be in Thailand. And this is going to be my sole and only radio that I will be using over there, because I've got my Thai call sign as well. Back to you there, Michael. Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar, Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot, over.
Yeah, very fine. ON7, OFF, WA30. Well, very good. I've been experimenting lately with running the Hermes Lite remotely. I don't know know if you're aware of that with Reed software. He has Beta 6 that just came out today, and that has been working pretty well. So you could always remote into your Hermes Light. Like I do, I sometimes go to my home in Pittsburgh, which is about 50 miles away, and I'm able to operate the station with that. So that is another thing that you can do. If you have a D104, everybody seems to have an old D104. That's what I'm running right here on this setup. Just a D104 plugged right into the front of the companion board, and it works quite nicely out of the box. But of course, I've went through W1AEX and set up the mic with the CFC audio tools and all that. So it's a little bit brighter. It doesn't have as much space as some of these microphones, but it really cuts through the DX pretty nicely. Also with ON80i and his very bright son, he's been able to get Fetus to work in Linux, and I've been experimenting with that. That's an interesting thing, having real live Fetus working in Linux. So some exciting things going on. I'll let you go. And I did see the video. John sent me the video of the AI, so maybe I'll look at this video. I know you're running a stream right now. I'm not looking at it, but maybe I should look at it and listen to see how I'm making it to your house. 73's Kurt, all the best, and always a pleasure. ON70FF, WA30. Cheers.
Yeah, QSL Michael, QSL 100% Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar November 7 Oscar Foxtrot returning. Yeah, well, I'm always on the edge of new technology. I always want to explore new technology and new things that come out, and nowadays it's all AI. Everything that is being created has to do with AI. I'm using AI for my job. I'm using AI to create generate pictures for my new website. I'm using it also to generate text and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm using it just to eliminate the white noise on a single sideband. So every type of technology that comes out, I always try to figure out what to do. Just one question before you go, Michael. If you're telling me that you're using your Hermes Light in a remote setup, can you just explain very briefly how you actually remote into your Hermes Light? Because I've been trying to use PPTP VPN, but I cannot discover my Hermes Light. Apparently, it does have a certain kind of a port that I need to redirect it to or something, but it's not working. And the only thing that I can see probably is not going to work with a remote connection, because if I look at my traffic on the network, it uses about 45 megabits per second on my network. I find it very weird that they have not found a way to eliminate or decrease the bandwidth on the network with the connection or the communication between the Hermes Light. Because if you think about it, if you just have a HD video stream, the HD video stream is not even going to take up to 2 megabits. But why 45 megabits of data? What is going on? What is being communicated over the network between the Hermes Light and the computer that it just consumes so much bandwidth? I was hoping that the SDR console would have this server feature enabled for Hermes Light, but after I bought the Hermes Light, apparently it's not the case. I was using SDR console mainly with my SDR Play software, hardware, and using the server feature so to actually remote into the receive, but that didn't work. And if I use I think it's SDR HP, what is it? SDR HP console. No, let me just see. Open HP SDR. That's the software. You can find it also for your Android phone, and apparently it only consumes about 1 megabit. So what the hell is going on? Why there's so much traffic generated between the HL2 and the software, the Thetis software? I have no idea. I find it kind of strange. Anyway, back to you there, Michael. Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar ON7 OFF, and tell me how you remote into it. Over.
Okay, it's very, very simple, Kurt. This is very simple. You can use VPN. That's probably your best way of doing it, but basically, you hook the Hermes Light directly to your router. So Cat5 cable from the Hermes Light plugged right into your router. And if you're able to, John, ON8EI is not. If you're able to get into your router and open up a COM port, once you do that, it's really easy. You just go to the other end of where you're at, and your IP address, and or you have one of these DNS deals that tells you a DNS and it redirects you, and then you get the software from Reed, which is Beta 6, and you're able to just type in the IP address or that name server, and it connects to whatever port you open up on your router. You only have to open up one port. Now here's the caveat, and you're very, very right with saying bandwidth. So the caveat to it all is right now at this point, two things happen. You can't use pure signal. There's just too much back and forth. So no pure signal when you remote, which is not a huge deal. And you have to take your bandwidth, your waterfall and your spectrum down to 48,000, from 19.2 or whatever, so you're seeing a very limited 48 kc worth of bandwidth. So these guys are still working on it. The problem is Thetis is just such a spaghetti code, and it is so piled on. It's the only way that I can tell you that for them to get in, they almost got to start a whole new piece of software to eliminate the back and forth. What the deal is, when people went to Protocol 2, I'm still on Protocol 1 on everything that I have. It even amps it up even more. People get to see the whole bandwidth, or 2 megahertz worth of bandwidth. Well, Protocol 2 just takes it to another level. So Protocol 1, gets you down to 10 MIPS, and then or 100 MIPS, and then taking the bandwidth down. But it really works pretty well, and I've been using it. So you'll have to look into it. I sent you an email with the Beta 6. It's not a real install. You just unzip it, and as long as you have one of the newer fetuses in there, it will work without installing it. So unzip it into a folder, double click on the fetus executable in that, and you'll be able to run it, and you'll be able to see there's some new checkbox in the new setup to set up the IP address and make it all discoverable. And they, people are using this with a VPN, which you sound like you're able to do. So I think Reed also changed how it discovers the IP address. So maybe that's where you were having the issue. ON7OFF WA30.
WA30 and 7OFF, yeah. Well, actually, I'm using the Hermes Light over the network, of course. I have the Hermes Light connected to my gigabit network, and I'm actually, let me see, am I using the network? Yeah, I'm using the network cable right now as we speak. So to eliminate eventually some VAC dropouts and all that kind of stuff. But it's just when I'm out of the network, like, I'm remote, I'm somewhere else. And I am somewhere on the internet, wherever it might be, trying to remote into the Hermes Light is not working. Also, I don't even think that my internet service provider is offering me a 45 megabit of upload speed. So if you don't have 45 megabit of upload speed, you can forget about it. So basically what I'm doing when I'm at the job at a complete other location is make a VPN connection to my network, my home network, using the Windows proprietary PPTP, or not, is it PPTP? I think it's the PPTP tunneling protocol, but I think it has to do with what kind of VPN system it is. If it's a routing based, or there's two options. I don't remember. Maybe just the standard Windows VPN system or service is not compatible with the Hermes Light for the remote. So currently what I'm doing is, I'm trying to find some workarounds, and I'm using a computer and have the Thetis just running locally on the computer, and just using a something like Remote Desktop by Google, and getting into the radio that way. So that is doing the trick, but it's not real remote. A real remote setup would be that I have Thetis running somewhere locally on my computer, I VPN into my network, and I'm good to go. So I think it's one of the requests of most of the people who are using the Thetis software. I think most of the people who are using Thetis are really looking forward to be able to remote into their station, just using a server client relationship when you use the Thetis software, and having a local Thetis maybe running as a server. That would be, of course, another solution, but because then you can how could I say, outsource the processing that needs to be done to eventually maybe compress the data over the network by the computer that is running the Thetis software as a server. So anyway, I'll check my email. Thank you for the email. I will see if I can make it run and see how it behaves, and I will try it next weekend when I'll be at the job, and see if I can make it work. It would be great. I really love to work remote sometimes. Sometimes I'm at the job and I just want to know what's going on the band, and maybe say a little hello to one or another friend, and it would be great. Back to you there, Michael, Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar, ON7 OFF, over.
GBCAY 70FFWA30. Well, so the G2, that's exactly what they're trying to do. They threw more hardware at it so that you can do remote with it. They haven't wrote the remote yet, but they're not going down the right path for us. They're going down another path and saying, well, we're not going to do the software. We're just going to use this Raspberry Pi as a go-between to do remoting. So I think that's way down the road. You've got to have somebody write all that software. But that being said, so the main thing is, does your service provider let you open ports? And if they do, then you're golden. There's a program called SDR++ Brown, BROWN. And I was able to connect to my Hermes Light remotely with my cell phone. And I'll have John, I have the videos on John's site. Have John maybe WhatsApp you those videos, but it's actually pretty good on your cell phone. You can eventually transmit. I haven't tried it yet, but you can definitely see the waterfall and the spectrum, and it works pretty well to be able to just pull out your cell phone and remote into Hermes Light. So as long as you're able to open this port, you will be fine. And this software from Reed will allow you to connect to your Hermes Light. But a VPN would be one of the better ways to connect directly in and not worry about opening up ports. I've opened up ports for other software and have no issue, but people cringe at opening up ports into their Hermes Light and things like this. So, all right, Kurt, I'll let you go. I'll have John maybe WhatsApp you that video, and you can see how it works on a cell phone. But I'm really into remoting because I have two homes. This new software has really opened up some things for remoting the Hermes Light for me. 73 is all the best. ON7OFF, WA30.
Yeah, WA30, ON7OFF returning. Yeah, I'll ask John. I've been to John 2 times, because I picked up the companion board from John. He didn't see any utility of using it, and he's a little bit worried in unsoldering the SMD component, which is a requirement to install the companion board, and he doesn't have any use for the companion board, but I will, because I will use it back in Thailand when I will be in the Hotel Sugar area, with my HS call sign. But okay, I will dig into it. It's kind of interesting. It would be fantastic if I could, use a smartphone application and get into my Hermes Light from anywhere in the world, and use my smartphone as my, radio. That would be absolutely insane. So definitely something I'm looking forward to. Michael. So yeah, it's interesting. It's new technology, and I have never been into SDR until, of course, I get my SDR Play, and I was a little bit, I was actually looking for a radio that is very small, that has a very small footprint, and that doesn't really look like the radio. And Hermes Light was really the perfect candidate to be that radio, and that's why I bought this one. Because if you travel with this Hermes Light 2, which is the size of 2 packets of cigarettes stacked next to each other, it's so damn small that even me as an amateur radio, if I didn't know it was a transceiver, I wouldn't even know. So it's so mind-boggling that you can have such a nice and capable radio that is so small. So that's just absolutely insane. Okay, Michael, really appreciate the QSO. I will talk with John, ON8AI, and ask him to forward me the videos. I will also ask him to share my personal details, so you can also connect with me on the WhatsApp. But great stuff to hear you tonight. I really appreciate, and very how could I say, very educational conversation I had with you there, Michael. I really appreciate. And just one more thing, whenever you hear somebody using Hermes Light, tell them to add, you can check it on the internet, tell them to add the registry entry in their Windows to have no throttling on their network, because I was struggling with that for about a week and I didn't know what was going on. I first thought, I at the end I thought that my Hermes Light 2 was faulty, but basically it had to do only with one thing. I'm using it on a laptop, and apparently Windows does have some throttling by default engaged or enabled in Windows to save some battery. And if you do not disable this particular configuration in your Windows by modifying a registry entry, it just causes problems, and you have VAC dropouts and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of an issue. 73's Michael, thank you for the nice cue. So Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar, ON7 OFF, over.
Yeah, very fine, Kurt. Yeah, I'm aware of that. That came up a long time ago. They put some check marks in Thetis to try to do that. Unfortunately, you have to go in and run it as an administrator, and I'm not sure if that's fully effective. But they have that network throttling in the setup. But you must go in, right-click the Thetis icon, and say run as an administrator. And I think it does write the registry. The registry in Windows is so locked up that they don't let a regular program get to it. So you have to do it as an administrator. All right, I told John to send that stuff to you. He's also going to send you my WhatsApp number as well. So he's got that, and yeah, you'll see how it works on a cell phone. 73's Kirk. If I can help you, text me back or email me. Have a good evening, and sorry for taking up all your YouTube time with this stuff. 73.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, maybe it's you who responded with that little trick there in the Google, what is it? Groups Google thing there. The groups group about Hermes Light that told me that I had to do this little hack there in the registry. I don't remember who gave the clue, but ever since I did that, it resolved all the issues. 73 is pleased to meet you, and talk to you soon again there. And no problem for the longer queue. So I'm a talkative person too, Michael. So yeah, I love to have sometimes some very educational and longer QSOs instead of just the 5 and 9 report. Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar, Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox. God bless you. Stay safe. Thank you, Michael.
November 7, OFF, Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot. This is Kilowatt Bravo 3 Alpha Yankee. I don't know if you can hear me or not, Kurt, but I was curious if you could hear me.
Yes, Gregory, you're coming in loud and proud. Very strong signal in Belgium. I'll give you a single report in your next transmission. Go ahead, Gregory, over.
Thank you, Kurt. The handle is Greg, as you know. I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania, about 38 miles southwest of Philadelphia. And you are sounding awesome today. You're a solid S9, 5/9, 100%, sounding great. I was looking at your profile on QRZ, and I was curious how much power you're running at this point. You said between 800 and 1200 watts. Just kind of curious on what kind of power you're putting out. Over?
Yeah, Roger, I'm using about 700 watts at the moment, 700, maybe about 800, but by the time the power reaches the antenna, it's probably going to be more or less 700 watts. The balloon is not rated for more than 600 watts, so I'm pushing it to the limits, and I don't want to fry up my 1/2 balloon for the 2-element cubical quad. I'm using a 5-band single feed point cubical quad antenna, and as you might have heard, I was talking with Michael there, Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar, because yeah, he is an expert also in the Hermes Light radio, and he helped me out also with setting up the Hermes Light, which is the smallest SSB or HF radio you can find, SDR radio, as a matter of fact. So it's the size of 2 packets of cigarettes that you stack next to each other, and they could even make it smaller because a lot of space in the enclosure is not filled up. Yeah, fine business there, Greg. Thank you for coming to me, and you're sounding great as well. I've got you here with a 5 to 10 dB as well. What is your antenna and what is your power? Go ahead.
Okay, Kurt. Well, I am using a Cushcraft R8 vertical antenna. If you look at my call sign on QRZ, you can get a quick view of what it looks like. It's relatively new. I just installed it in April, and I'm very satisfied with it's been working. It's easy. It was real easy to tune, and I'm also using an MFJ IntelliTuner, which keeps my amplifier happy. I have an Ameritron solid-state amp. Right now I'm running about 1150 watts, somewhere in that range, out to that antenna, which is built for full legal limit. And the combination seems to work pretty well for me. I have an ICOM 7300, and you, by the way, are a good solid 10 over now. Sounding really, really good. That's why when I was tuning around, I heard you talking to that, I think it was the WA3 station, which is also probably Pennsylvania. I could hardly hear him because I think he's too close to me, but for 20 meters. But your site fascinated me to be listening to you talking about an AI filter for ham radio. That sounds absolutely amazing. I just can't imagine how awesome that would probably be to get rid of noise. And like you said, the background inherent with single sideband. That would be absolutely amazing to have something at your disposal, especially if it was a module that you could build into your existing radio. Whereas you would actually run the audio through it, and it would filter out all of everything that doesn't belong. And unless there's some other way to do it, I mean, it's probably a better way with the AI to enable it to filter the noise. But it just sounds fascinating that could be applied. That's pretty cool. I must say, I was quite impressed when I heard you. Of course, I was only hearing one end of the conversation, so I didn't get everything you were discussing, but it sounded fascinating. So I'll turn it back to you. OM7OFF, this is Kilowatt Bravo 3 Alpha Yankee.
Yeah, Kilowatt Bravo 3 Alpha Yankee Oscar November 7 Oscar Foxtrot returning. Yeah, QSL. Well, anyway, Greg, you can go to the live stream. I'm doing a live stream. If you go to my QRZ page, the very first picture will engage or will start the live stream. And on purpose, every time that I'm in RX mode, I'm engaging and disengaging the artificial intelligence filter, and showing the people who are in the live stream to show them how the AI filter is capable of eliminating the entire white noise floor in single sideband. So it just eliminates it completely. You've got a lot of DSP solutions, noise reduction solutions, all that kind of stuff. But the thing that really bothers me when you use these NR, these noise reduction DSP solutions, is that it sounds so mechanical. It sounds so computerized. The feedback that you have. So the more that you do this filtering, the more that you have these artificial artifacts that just comes along with the RX. But the AI filter is just completely eliminating the white floor noise or the white noise of the SSB receive, and eliminates it completely. And the only thing you can hear is like silence, or you have, audio coming through. That's it. There's nothing in between. You don't hear that white noise. You can use it with virtually every radio in the world. The only thing you need is a computer and a piece of software that is made by Randy Williams. He's not a ham operator. He's the son of a ham operator. He is very into computers and all that kind of stuff. And his dad is a ham operator. His call sign of his dad is Kilo 5 Quebec Echo. And he gave me access to his server. So I'm actually sending the input signal, or the RX signal, the raw signal, straight over the internet to the server back in Texas. And the Texas sends it me back in a fraction of a second. It takes about 20, 30 to 100, maybe 200 milliseconds to have the receive back, but filtered with the artificial intelligence. And then it is just played back on my speakers. Now at the moment I'm using some headphones, so I'm listening to you on the headphones, but I don't hear any white noise, nothing at all. It looks like Foxtrot mic, not even Foxtrot mic, because you still have a ch in the beginning and ch at the end when you go from TX to RX. But here it's completely filtered out. I just uploaded a new video on my YouTube channel. You can go to it if you type in my call sign on YouTube, or if you go from my QRZ page, and then you can see how you can do it. You can do it with any radio, but I'm using the Teti software, which is a little bit more convenient because it's pushing the receive into a certain audio channel into my computer. And from there on, I capture that audio channel, send it over to the server in Texas, and the server sends it back to me. At the moment, at the current stage, we can only do 2.9 kilohertz, or actually, as a matter of fact, it's 2.8, but you can do 2.9 kilohertz in RX and filter it out completely. And I'm gonna ask. I didn't ask Randy yet, but is there a capability to have also maybe like 3.5, 4 kilohertz? So in case in the future we want to do some ESSB and all that kind of stuff, that would be cool, because then you can eliminate the ground floor noise or the white noise completely and do extended single sideband and have some fun. I always consider ESSB like, sitting at a bar and a virtual bar, hanging with your hand on the bar and saying hello to the guys right next to you, because this is how it sounds when I go on 80 meter and hear these guys doing ESSB. That's also the reason why I wanted to have a ESSB capable radio, and this Hermes Light 2 just came into my field of view, and I decided to buy this Hermes Light 2 radio, which is capable of doing all that kind of stuff. And it's so damn cheap, because I bought this radio for $370 delivered to my doorstep. So it's just absolutely insane. I'm a little bit of a, how could I say, stingy guy as far as gear is concerned. So I try to have the minimal of expenses and also floor print of gear, and having the maximum of capabilities. Back to you there, Greg. Kilo Bravo 3 Alpha Yankee ON7 OFF, over.
ON7 OFF KB3AY. I'm watching you here. That is absolutely fantastic. I am fascinated by this. It's really quite impressed. And I'm curious, do you have to travel between Belgium and Thailand often? I mean, I see that you're married to somebody from Thailand. Where do you typically live most of the time, or do you move back and forth, you and your wife, over periods of time? I was very curious about that. Over.
Yeah, QSL Greg, KB3AY ON7 OFF. Actually, I do work here, of course. I have my job. I'm a perfumer. but the shop is closed in January and February, so I travel on and off between Belgium and Thailand, and I'm there for 2 months. So when here everything is shut down and it's cold, it's freezing, it's winter, I escape from the winter and go where it's good. So this is how it goes in my life. I hate the cold, so I get enough of vitamin D when I'm there, and by the time I'm back, it's springtime. Back to you, Greg. Over.
Okay, that sounds really convenient, dude. I'm glad you're able to do that. That's a nice setup. That's almost like when you're retired, you get what they call the snowbirds. The people that live in Florida during the wintertime, and the people that come up north during the summer up here in the United States, because in the summertime, Florida's pretty uncomfortable. You have dedicated people that live there that somehow just doesn't bother them. But to be in the upper 90s or mid 90s with high humidity, that doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do my body any good. It doesn't do my state of mind any good. So as a result, we're living here in Westchester, and it's a beautiful time. Most of the time, it's a beautiful temperate climate. In the winter, we do get some cold. Not as cold as it used to be, but we do get some snow every so often. Seemingly less in recent years, but I can remember growing up having larger snowstorms. But going down south is nice in the winter, and I also enjoy going to Hawaii. That's probably my favorite place in the world, is on the island of Maui, which is right now experiencing some major issues with their fires. But if I had a choice to live anywhere in the world permanently, it would be on the island of Maui. Maui has a really unique situation that most other places in the world do not have, and the Hawaiian Islands seem to be the only ones that I know of that have quite the same situation, where you can have so many different climates based on where you are on the island, whether it's north, south, east, or west, what your altitude is, etc. And all those things have an effect on the type of environment. You can go from hot and humid to cool, cold and dry. You can go skiing in the morning, in the afternoon go surfing. So there's not too many places in the world where you can do that. And that's one of the things I like about Hawaii, is when you go there, you can pick the climate you want to be in. The most fascinating thing about it is the microclimates depend on the trade winds. The trade winds blow that warm, moist air across the ocean. It comes up on one side of the volcano, and the windward side of the island drops all the moisture. And then it goes up over top of the mountain, and it gets cooled down, and it's devoid of moisture. Comes down the other side and bathes the leeward side of the island in cool, dry air, which actually pushes the ocean air and the humidity out toward the ocean, and also prevents the salt air destruction that can occur on metal, because it's typically, you have a land breeze blowing out toward the ocean when the trade winds are blowing. So it's very unique. It's definitely different than most places, and that's one of the reasons we love it so much. But aside from that, your situation sounds ideal. Sounds like you've got a great setup there for being able to move every year based on the climate change in the location where you are, and still be able to work and hold a job and be married and have a wife that's comfortable doing that. I think that's pretty cool. So I'll turn it back to you. This has been fascinating, our conversation so far. ON7OFF KB3AY.
Yeah, QSL, I see a message from Ronald. Yeah, Ronald, I just switched on and off. I just show you the there's a little response for the viewers in the live stream, but I just, each time when I'm in RX mode, I just switch on and off the artificial intelligence filter, so you can hear the difference between with and without the filter engaged. So it's kind of interesting. I really love to combine and explore new technology. Yeah, QSL, Greg. Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii, but I remember like about, well, it can be 20 years ago or even longer. I traveled also often to Bali, and there was an old man that I met. I have been there like 2 or 3 times, but he was like there 2 times out of 3 times I was there, and he was just telling me that he was traveling between heaven and paradise. So he basically was from Hawaii and he was traveling to Bali on and off, but he was a retired person. I'm not sure if he's still alive because it's 20 years ago, and at that time he was like around his 80s. So I guess that he must have passed away. But yeah, he told me that he loved Hawaii as well. But he got a little bit bored after a while, and he just came down to Bali and, get the atmosphere from the other culture and then just travel on and off. I do speak Thai, so for me, being in Thailand is my second home. And it's easy for me because, there is no language barrier to talk with the people. And yeah, it helps me a lot, of course, because, people, they also respect you more. If you're a foreigner who can talk the language and speak the language, they really appreciate that. Okay, Greg, I'll pass the microphone one more time to you. I guess there might be some other people on the side, but yeah, have a look on the live stream when we're finished, and yeah, you will see when I engage and disengage the AI filter. You will see that the white noise just comes back straight away. I like the NR2 filter that is on the Thetis software. It's also very good, but you have that mechanical noise that comes along with the NR2 noise reduction number 2. While with this AI filter, it just completely eliminates, and it's just very natural. Thanks a lot, Greg. I really appreciate. Kilo Bravo 3 Alpha Yankee. This is Oscar November 7 Oscar Foxtrot. Back to you.
Okay, Kurt. Well, the conversation has been great, and I really enjoyed talking with you. And hopefully, we'll have a chance to talk again further down the log. That would be awesome. And I'm fascinated by your display there of calls. Is that one real quick thing before we get off? Is that an automatic thing where the call sign, my call sign, as soon as I give it, is identified audibly and then put into your log there, or do you type that in? Over.
No, it just the software that I'm using is made by Oscar November 3 Whiskey India. It's the logging software, and it's connected through an API to the QRZ.com page. So you need to have the API credentials, and it will pull out the first name of the station that you're talking to. So as soon as I type in the call sign, it just grabs the automatically the first name out of the database, and it fills up my logbook automatically. So I try to have everything as automatic as possible in what I'm doing. It just makes things so easy. Back to you, over.
Well, that's really awesome. That is really awesome. I don't know if you had a chance to go to my website on QRZ, but if you did, that you'd at least have a chance to look at my antenna. By the way, it's only, I just put that up in April, so it's relatively brand new. And it's guide, believe it or not, and it'll withstand 80-mile-an-hour winds, which is significant. So it's a great antenna. I don't have to worry about turning it or sending it one way or another. And it's worked very well for me. We had, if you look at the trees that are behind that, in the pictures, you'll notice that there's a very large branch missing from one of those pine trees. And that particular branch was a 1,000-pound branch, believe it or not, that fell during a windstorm and totally took out my previous antenna, which was DX88 I'd had for many years. And the neighbor that owns the property behind us very willingly paid for my new one to replace the DX88, and I've been using the new Pushcraft R8 ever since, and I had no issues with it. It's a great antenna, and I strongly recommend it to anyone that would like to put a vertical up it actually has gain. It has 3 dB of gain, which is really cool. Most verticals don't, but unless you're in UHF or VHF. But this antenna has gain, so it's pretty cool. All right, dude, I'll let you go in case there's others that want to talk to you. I thoroughly enjoyed our QSO. It was great, and hopefully, like I said, I catch you further down the log, and we have a chance to talk again. And maybe the next time I talk to you, you'll be somewhere other than in your current location, your other home, so to speak. That would be absolutely great. All right, dude. Well, 73. Best of the rest of your day. I'll say 73s and sign ON7 OFF. This is Kilowatt Alpha Yankee saying 73s, and have a great, safe, wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, that was I just keyed up a little bit slower because I wanted to show the viewers on the live stream how it sounds with and without the AI engaged, and you could hear the white noise when you finished talking 100%, and it eliminated 100% the white noise. So fantastic. Technology is really going forward, and yeah, we got some smart guys like Randy who is able to use this new knowledge, because I'm not sure if you're familiar now AI actually works, but it's like a small kit that you know, if you got a child and you got these little shapes, and it needs to put that shape through the hole of that board that has the same shape, you know, the child is going to turn it in the right direction, and at a certain moment in time it's going to find the right way to put it through that little board. And that's the intelligence is created by the person himself, by the young kid who is just playing around with these toys, and AI is actually working the same way. So I can imagine that in the long term the AI software is going to learn more and more, and it will become even better, and it will be able to pull out signals that are very weak but make it very audible and easy to understand. So I guess this AI system will also get better over time, because it's a self-learning system, like the example that I gave you with the child. Okay, Greg, I'll let you go. 73s, have a fantastic day. Pleased to meet you for the first time, and hopefully we can make another conversation in the future. Kilo Bravo 3 Alpha Yankee, Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot Foxtrot.
73, Kurt.
73s. Let me see. I'll take one more caller, because it's midnight here and I don't want to keep the family members awake with my rattling on the microphone. This is ON7 OFF. We're standby. Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform. Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform. You were quite strong. Go ahead. Whiskey 4 Station Bravo question mark. Go ahead.
The call is Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform Zulu in the state of Georgia. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Is that Roger? Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform. Nice to meet you, Roger. Go ahead.
W4 Bravo Uniform Zulu. The name is Buzz.
Yeah, okay, Buzz. Thank you for coming back to the call. Do I have it correct? Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform Lima. Is that the full call?
The last letter is Zulu Zanzibar. W4BUZ.
Yeah, okay. QSL. Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform Zulu. Okay, thank you very much. This is Kurt here. Kilo Uniform Romeo Tango. If I'm not mistaken, your first name should be John, and my name is Kurt, K-U-R-T. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Kurt. Well, I won't keep you. I just want to give you a quick shout. I was just listening along, really good into the state of Georgia today. About a 599 into central Georgia. I know there's lots of people calling, and I know you probably want to go to bed soon. So thanks for the quick contact, and I'll catch you again down the line.
Yeah, QSL.
BUZ.
Okay.
Whiskey 1, Romeo and Juliet Tango. Whiskey
November
1, Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, QSL, John, sorry, I must have doubled for a second with you. So Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform Zulu. Yeah, I get you 5x5 here, 55 clear signal using the AI filter here, and no problem. The thing is with the artificial intelligence filter, I cannot hear if the signal is either 5, 6, 7, 9, 20 over 9. It just sounds exactly the same. So the AI filter is just, leveling everything off. 73 is John. Thank you for the call. Whiskey 4 Bravo Uniform Zulu. Oscar November 7. Oscar Foxtrot. Take care. Bye-bye.
7-3.
November X-ray 2, Oscar.
Juliet Tango, over.
November X-ray 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Kurt. This is November X-ray 2, Ontario. Rick in New York, over.
Yeah, November X-ray 2, Ontario. This is Oscar November 7, Oscar Foxtrot. Let me update the call sign. November. Just repeat your call sign one more time because I was correcting the previous call sign. Apparently, it should be Bravo Echo Zulu. Go ahead, over.
Okay, November X-ray number 2, Ontario.
QSL Richard, we had a QSO before. It was about a year ago. Pleased to see you again, and great to see that you're still alive and kicking. Go ahead.
Yeah, last we spoke March of this year, and then we had one back in March of 22. So I generally talk to you in March, over.
Yeah, okay, QSL. Maybe I didn't log you that day, but my last entry was dating back from 2022. So apparently I must have been confused and I did not log you, or maybe we had a QSO when I was mobile. Obviously, I'm not going to log any QRZ or any calls when I'm mobile. Nice to meet you. This is Kurt here, Kilo Uniform Romeo Tango. And the QTH is Brussels. Richard, still the same. I just changed radio. We are using the Hermes Lite right now, the SDR radio that is open source. And yeah, I'll give you a single report on your next transmission. Go ahead, Richard, over.
Yeah, okay, Kurt, very fine. You were stronger about a half an hour ago. Now you're fluctuating between 5, 7, and 10 over 9. So to give you the 10 over 9, no problem talking whatsoever. Very good on the working conditions. I've upgraded to a Yaesu. 10, no AI here. Running about a kilowatt. Well, about 800 watts anyway. Sure the meter shows. Into an NFET half-wave wire. Over.
Yeah, okay, QSL, fantastic. Yeah, you're 5x8 to 5 by almost 9. So you just almost touched the 9 here with your NFET antenna and 1 kW. I'm using the same antenna as last time we spoke, the 2-element cubicle quad, which has a single feed point for different bands. I got all the bands from 20 to 10 and running about 700 watts. The power amplifier is the OM Power 2000 Plus, and I'm bringing up the QRP power from the radio with a micro PA amplifier, which is currently driving the amplifier with about 14 to 20 whiskeys. So that is basically the current situation here. And yeah, fantastic to hear you again, Richard. I hope you've been okay. It's been a beautiful day today here. Today we had a sunny day, great temperature, and we had rain for the past, let's say, 3 months. And now that all the kids are going back to school, we'll start to have some summer. There you go. So not good for the kids, but yeah, I'm not impacted by this. Back to you there. Richard, November X-ray 2 Oscar, ON7 OFF, over.
Yeah, very fine, Kurt. Very good. Fine business on the OM amplifier. I'd like to have one of those for sure. And the kids going back to school, it's a good thing for me. As well in the U.S., they're also going back.
The weather's been nice the last few days. Here we have a holiday weekend, Labor Day, and unfortunately I have to go. It looks like the dinner bell has rung over.
Yeah, yeah, QSL, fantastic. Yeah, well, there you go. We had a little bit of a pileup when you were calling in, but you were right on top. So I think the NFET is doing a great job. I know you're running a little bit of power, but yeah, you might need that power because there are some other guys with bigger antennas, and they are, might be also stronger than you. Thanks a lot, Richard. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic evening. And I'm gonna start to go QRT. I'll take one more caller before I go, but thanks for calling. I really appreciate NX20 ON70FF.
Victor Alpha, Bravo Oscar, Bravo.
Delta 1, Germany, America.
Victor Alpha. Victor Alpha station, make your call.
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. It's Victor Alpha 1, Bravo Oscar, Bravo. Bob is in northeast Nova Scotia. You're a good 5x9 plus 5 dB. Very nice audio too, Kurt. So go ahead, sir.
QSL, thank you very much, Bob. Is it Bob or is it Rob? Because I see Robert Emmett as name, but maybe you prefer to be named with Bob, because I can imagine that you might have taken this call sign because of that suffix. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, you can call me anything you want, Kurt, but yeah, Bob is great. Bob is great. Some people call me Emmett. People that know my father, because that's what they called him. And but anyway, yeah, Bob is good. That's why I got the call sign. But yeah, great signal there. I'm interested in your AI noise filtering. Does it cut out power line noise and all that kind of stuff, Kurt?
Well, apparently, as far as I do understand, Randy, he told me that it's going to learn from your receive, and you're supposed to actually send a raw signal into the AI server, and then it's going to eliminate everything that, I don't know, but that's a good one. I just started to use it like about 3-4 days ago. I found it just before the weekend hit, and I was working over the weekend, but I installed it on another computer that I'm mainly using just for RX purposes, but I know I have some severe QRM on the 11 meter band, so I'm going to have a look when I go to the 11 meter if it can filter out this power line adapter QRM. Yeah, it's absolutely insane what it does. I'm not sure if you are also listening to the live stream, but you can listen on the live stream how it sounds. And on your on my next receive, I will turn it on and off again, so people can compare. I am already very happy with the noise reduction number 2 that you get in the Thetis software, but you always have that artifacts and that computerized audio that you have when you engage the noise reduction number 2, because the digital signal processor is not perfect. While the AI system is really doing a great job. It's just absolutely insane. I think in the long term, maybe it might be on a subscription basis, which is understandable, because Randy, who is the creator of the AI filtering system, is actually giving the username and the password, but we are using his processing power of his computer and his electricity and everything. So the signal just is sent to the server and it's coming back in a loop, and then it's being played back on my headphones here on the speakers of the computer. But yeah, it's really very interesting. So new era is born for SSB without white noise. Back to you there, Robert, over, or Bob, over.
Yeah, right on, Kurt. Well, that sounds fabulous. I just turned on the live feed there, so I turned the volume down there, but hey, that's a great thing you have there, and my goodness, yeah, that's what we need, noise reduction. We need smart noise reduction, that's for sure, Kurt, and I'm glad that system is working for you.
Okay, hold on, stand by. Okay, I just did the receive with white noise without the artificial intelligence filter engaged, and then I enabled the AI filter so you can compare in the live stream just to show you how it sounds. So basically you eliminate it completely, but you need to turn the filter right up to the maximum level. You can see today I just added a new video about it, so you can find more information if you just look at the video on YouTube and on the same channel, and then you can test it. You don't need to have a SDR capable radio. You can do it with virtually any radio that has single site receive and has about 3.8 3.9 kilohertz of bandwidth. The filter itself has only the capability to do 2.8. Well, you can go a little bit beyond 2.9 is okay, but if you go beyond, you start to have that white noise again, because the filter is not really working for higher bandwidths on the receive. But maybe in the future, Randy might work on that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, and I'm gonna test it. I didn't think about it, but I'm gonna test if I can eliminate the receive issue that I have on the 11 meter band. I don't transmit there, but I just listen sometimes, and it's kind of interesting to be able to see if I can eliminate the power line adapter noise that I have here, because here in Europe there is a lot of internet service providers that are giving this power line adapters. Luckily they filter it for the ham radio band and the ham radio bands, I would say, but not for the other bands. So it's using the I think the old HF spectrum for the transmission of the data of the internet data on the power line adapters and on the power grid. Okay, Rob or Bob, I'm gonna go QRT. It's been okay. I've had a 1 hour and 30 minutes of live stream, so I had my share. But pleased to meet you. I really hope you find it fascinating. I do. I love to combine old and new technology. I've been doing this for quite some time, and this is a new for me, a new era, I think, for a single side band. I can see this kind of technology being supported in future versions of the Teti software and other SDR capable software. And you can use the software that I'm using right now with any radio, but it would be great to have this integrated in other SDR radio software. 73, I'll talk to you soon, Bob. Pleased to meet you. Victor Alpha 1 Bravo Oscar Bravo Oscar November 7 Oscar Fox Fox, over.
It's been November 7 o'clock.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kurt. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the information. I have to run too. Whoops, I got to turn that light out there. But thank you, sir. And looking good, DX. Glad you're into the hobby, and hey, you're going to have a great time. And hey, talk soon. 7-3, all the best. We're out of here. VA1 BOB. Bye for now.
73, I'm also QRT. Anybody who want to call, sorry guys, but it's late at night, and I had my share of radio, but also I was working today, so I'm kind of tired. This is Oscar November 7 Oscar Foxtrot Foxtrot, going QRT as well. 73, bye bye.
Candy, forget to eat straight. I'll forget that.
This is Alpha 4, Romeo Oscar, 4 calling Park Premier. 15. In Florida. Out 059, sorry, 73. Alpha 4. Romeo Oscar calling Kilo Dakota.
Kilo Echo 9, Yankee Kilo.
Kilo Echo 9, Yankee Kilo, you are 5-9 in Florida. Kilo 1887 is the park number.
QSO on the 1. Okay, 55 into Indiana.
Roger, the 5-5 Indiana, thank you. 33.
73, have fun.
I'm trying. I want to get out of Florida, though. I'm from Florida. I want to get out of here.
Okay, guys, this is it. I'm gonna go QRT. I'll stop the live stream. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, I hope I taught something new to most of you guys, because it was new to me too. And it's always interesting to have new technology in the amateur radio world. So there you go. Good evening, and I'll turn off the live stream. ON7 OFF QRT 73s.